Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing in my head. I paint a picture. Since I coming home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, 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 why don't you come on over, Valerie? Welcome to the 10th episode of my music vlog, Covers Off the Street. I cannot believe it's been 10 episodes in. I remember a couple months back when my manager reached out saying, you know, I think you should start a vlog and here's why, and we met with the team and discussed it, and I was just like, really? You really think I should? I guess to just second guess myself, but you know, I said, okay, I'm gonna try it. I can't believe I've been going 10 weeks, so thank you guys so much for joining me on the ride. Episode 10, part 2 of NAMM. I didn't really know where I was gonna go with NAMM. I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed networking and meeting up with sponsors and people and seeing the amazing musicians and the acts on stage. When I got onto the stage, a part of me knew I was gonna get it. You know when you have that gut feeling, you're just like, yeah, I can do it. With some things, it's just kind of up in the air, not really sure. I don't know why, but part of me, you know, just felt confident about it. But then the other part of me was just, I know I can do this, but do I have enough things backing me? Damn it. Too much noise. Alrighty. Sorry about that, guys. In the other room, my lovely and dearest partner in crime, Ty the Sound Guy, who I keep talking about, he's doing a stream right now. And he just started doing some Twitch streaming and gaming on the side of doing all his other sound work. And Pepper was in the other room because I needed no noise to be made, and so we had to close the door, but she kept scratching on the door, so it's okay, Pepper. You can be with me, but remember, you have to pick a place, because I can't keep opening the door for you and talk to my lovely fans, but you can talk to them with me. Back to NAMM. I actually wrote these things. I had to write these things down, so I'm gonna read off my list for you. Honestly, the secret, most things in the music industry, opportunities, and just in life in general, in the principles of success, a lot of it is the openness to learn, work ethic, persistence, positive and friendly attitude. And by positive and friendly attitude, I mean not just don't be nice to people just because you never know who they are. Be nice to them because you want them to feel good. I don't know anybody who really likes, and I know a lot of people throw a lot of shade at Hollywood and LA, but I don't really know too many people, and maybe I've been lucky, where they like that fake niceness, who just is nice to you so they can get to where they want to go. People want an organic connection, especially when it comes to music. And I'm not saying it's always like that, but it's something really important to keep in mind if you are also pursuing anything, especially as a creative. Positive, friendly attitude. You want to support your niche community, and that doesn't mean, I used to make this mistake when I was starting, was meaning oh, I'm an artist, I should support other artists, I should support all the artists in the community. And while that's maybe a lovely sentiment and idea, it's just not humanly possible because I'm only one person. So by niche, it means to discover people within the community of genre that you sing, or maybe if your music is a lot about like women empowerment or mental health like mine or something like that, you want to find people in your niche, in where your target is, and support them. So that's who you want to support. And of course, you don't want to just straight up support and then be like, hey, like my stuff too. That's not how it works, and it happens all the time, unfortunately. You want to find people that you genuinely appreciate in the music industry, and in however you want to connect, not just music, but like, let's say you want to get involved with a charity and they sell flowers or like whatever, like, so that's what I mean by that. So it's super important. The other thing is like submissions. Way you get on the stage, as noted in the previous episode, episode 9, is that I submitted most festivals, most the NAMM show, most things, unless you're starting your own tour and then you facilitate it yourself, most things you are gonna submit for as a creative, as an artist. So again, with that discovery, setting yourself up by having these tools, including consistency, you also want to use these tools to sharpen the tools that you need to succeed. And by that, I mean like if you're a musician, you want to use all of these things to also work on your craft, because again, if you're a creative, your sole purpose is to connect creatively, create art, however it is that you do, so that people want to connect with you. And if they don't feel connected with you because your mind is thinking about the money or the numbers, it's just not going to work. They want to get to know you. And people, I'm sure you might feel this personally, but a lot of people in general, I know we're like, this was supposed to be a business talk, but I just thought this was really important because I just remember having this happen after I played NAMM show, people suddenly asking me like, I know everything. And here's the secret, like nobody knows everything. What's important is that you have the open mind to learn, and all of these things, all of these tools that I read off my list, and you're going to be way more likely to succeed. And a lot of that is like developing your own voice and not just doing everything that everyone else is doing and comparing yourself just because they're having success. You don't imitate what they're doing, because everyone's going to have a different path because they're a different person. In addition to all of that, what's going to happen is as you try to improve these skills and tactics and learn your craft and better yourself, what's most important is you're gonna have a lot of fears, or at least I have. They don't go away. They don't stop. This nervousness you get on stage, that doesn't go away. You just get comfortable being uncomfortable. And it takes a lot of practice. Like I used to be someone that got sick to their stomach right before like big things when I was in college. And I was just feeling all this pressure and nervousness in myself, and like it wasn't until I street performed where I finally let that all go. I still get it. I still get nervous whenever I have a new project, a new song. There's just like, because it's new and it's fresh and like everybody wants to do a good job, and it's totally okay to feel all these things. But the most important thing is that you need to keep fighting the natural fears that come up along the way of this whole creative process of developing all these skills for whatever it is that you want to do in life. That's my lecture. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. And so that's basically like how I prep myself to being ready for NAMM, being open to being discovered, and being invited to playing the main stage, was honing in on these things. And I'm not saying that it's an absolute. You could get really good at these things, and sometimes things just aren't meant to be in that way. But something is meant to be in another way, and that's great, and you'll find that out for you as well along the way of your personal human journey. The first thing that I did was prepping the team, and by team, so when I played the NAMM stage, I did not have management. I had let my management go By the way, if in the comments you have questions about with management and stuff and like how does that work, let me know and we can kind of discuss that. This isn't a business vlog at all by any means, but if you like personally have questions or anything like that about what was it like being with management, what was it like being with management that wasn't a good fit for you, what it was like, that kind of thing, I can totally add that to a future episode. But I'm not going to teach you how to get management because that's not what this is. If you want to know those things, I'm going to refer you to Ari Herstand, who wrote a book on a lot of those things. So this is not a product placement, by the way. I'm just letting you know, like, because it also helped me kind of vet, like, to know another person's experience of how that works and how that's organized in the industry. With prepping the team, minus management, it was putting the band together. And at that time, I was still kind of piecing together the band that I would like for, ideally for life in the future when I tour and I grow a lot, and people that I would consider like the core family of the music live. My lovely dearest boyfriend that I've talked about a million times, he was helping me pair them up because he had been in the industry longer than me, and so there were people that I had in mind that I wanted to play with me on stage. So I knew that some of the people that I did want. So I knew I wanted a certain bass player and the guitar player if possible. And then for drums, I wanted a friend who was pretty cool that I'd worked with before. And so we started piecing together the band, and then we realized we don't have a keyboardist. And this was back when I still had a residency at the good old Republic of Pie in North Hollywood. And Republic of Pie, by the way, is a great place to stop by when you're in LA. Just letting you know. I was playing there, playing music, playing a set. And before I was playing, this guy was playing on keyboards. He's just like so joyful and having such a wonderful time, and his name was Tim. So I'm just like, wow, this guy's really awesome and everything. And I was like, he was so awesome that I was just like, man, now I'm nervous. I gotta like be on my A game because I'm going on next. And when you're like really admiring and appreciating other musicians, it's just that natural nervous thing like I talked about. And he stuck around for some of my set, and then he had to go, but he was like, oh, I'm totally in, like, she sounds great. And so he basically kind of became like a member of the family band. He started learning my music, and then at the time, me and my new friend Trevin, he had written a couple songs for the album I was putting out, Interlude. Some of you guys know it. I also wanted Trevin to play on stage with me because he had written some songs and it'd be really cool, and I was told I had a certain amount of badges to give out, so that's what I did. And Trevin was singing backups also and he guest played on a couple songs. I called him out. We had so much fun. And then right before the gig, the drummer that I wanted, his knee gave out, and I was like, oh no, I feel so bad for him. Like, lovely boyfriend of mine once again came to the rescue, and he said, hey, I got this drummer and he's not easy to book and he's like really good. His name's Keenan and he's played with a couple of the other players that you like to play with. And I said, okay. And then we got another background singer. So we get Keenan to play on the drums, and I meet him and he's super chill. We're doing like a rehearsal and everything beforehand. A lot of people do rehearsals right before a show, usually at a rehearsal space, or if you have a studio, but we did a rehearsal space just a couple days before, and everybody had the tracks. So everybody's learning everything on their own because it was like a 7-piece band. We were just piecing everything together individually, and everybody was so professional. So grateful for them. I start singing and Keenan's on drums, and then the boyfriend was playing guitar. I'm singing and Keenan's playing. Just the way that he was weaving in and out of what I was singing and the way he was just supporting the music, I was like, wow. I forgot the words to my own song, which happens. If you're on my streams, you know it happens. But it happened because the way he played and the way that he supported everything literally just took the lyrics out of my mouth. Just like, wow, he's incredible. After that, that whole piece thing, like a lot of the players, I would say majority of the core players, the bassist, the guitarist, and the drummer, and Tim are really great to like keep around if possible. I'd love to after the pandemic, keeping them around and possibly tour with them. And then we had I mentioned Straight Like Cadence, how they were the other artist band who inspired me to play the stage. So I invited Jonathan, who plays violin and is like the lead vocalist, to play on my song Fear, because my actual cousin, who is also named Jonathan, lived in New York, and I just couldn't afford to fly him out, unfortunately, but maybe in the future. And so we got Jonathan from Straight Like Cadence to play a song with us, and it was just like really magical. Pepper, are you hiding your head under my leg? You're so funny. So yeah, I wrote everything down in my notebook today because it's just like, it was a really big experience for me, and I had to fill a stage that was the biggest stage I had ever played on so far. And the Coachella stage is not small. It's really big. It's really, really, really big, and I didn't expect it. And luckily, because I had been street performing at City Walk in the Fauna Court for a while, where it is a really big space that you have to just fill it with your energy. By the time I got there, I wouldn't say it was like nothing. I was used to thinking of myself filling a space. It really helped. When I was on stage and everything, and prepping and everything, and I remember my friend Andrew, had hired him to do like some extra photos and video, and the NAMM Foundation made a video for us on the house, which was really amazing of them. They did a really great job, their team that they hired. But we wanted, you know, some behind the scenes shots and stuff like that. I would love to share my behind the scenes of NAMM, because I don't think I did. So maybe that'll be the next episode. But anyways, that's a little Easter egg for you. So I just remember getting to the stage, and like we had rehearsed, and then we rehearsed it. What's also so interesting is, because everybody, I mentioned a lot of moving parts and a lot of professionals, everybody had different gigs on different nights. So I remember rehearsing with a couple people, but not other people. And then some people I was never able to rehearse with, and I was so nervous. I was just like, I hope they know their part. Like, I hope it comes together. And so day of, we practiced in this like big storage closet that we found, got access to. And I gave everybody sunglasses. That's always my thing. I give everybody like a pair of sunglasses, and like say like, you know, welcome to the band, or sometimes I'll give them a CD or a t-shirt, but usually I'll give them sunglasses, because I honestly have a lot of hair, but also because I want to make them feel welcome and everything. We all 7 of us, plus Andrew, get together in the this big storage closet room, and we practice, and we go through the set like super like hyper fast. And we had like, and it all came together, and I was just so happy and excited. We get to the stage, and I'm just like nervous, like my stomach is just like butterflies. And we had like a little bit of time. Like some of the fans that we were told were free that could be there, they start asking for badges. They traveled an hour to get here. We have to get them in. And like luckily we did, we found a way. But that was like a stressful little nugget right before I went onto stage. And so then they say, okay, guys, go up for your sound check. And I just remember hiding backstage, because I'm used to seeing shows where usually the sound check is like way before the show. So you don't see the star or like the main artist or whoever until like it starts. So I'm hiding behind the stage thinking like that's me. And then they were like, Sarah, come out on stage for your sound check. And I'm just like, oh, whoops, I had never sound checked in front of an audience before, and apparently it was a really good learning experience, because that's what they do at festivals. Unless you're like the headlining act, you get sound checked like way beforehand, but for the most part you're sound checked on stage and then you just go. It was interesting also for NAMM because I wasn't allowed to use my in-ears. It just wasn't set up, it wasn't facilitated at that time, unfortunately. So we also dealt with monitors on stage, and I just remember it like smushing into my ears, and I was just like, whoa, this is so amplified, and it took a second to get my bearings, even in the sound check. Okay, you good here? You good here? You good here? Now go, play. And I was so nervous because I was just like, wait, I just got here. I remember we had just enough songs to fill the time, but we couldn't really say much in between because it was just, we only had 45 minutes on the dot, unless somebody, let's say somebody is not on stage, or they're having an issue, or someone doesn't show, then they're like, play longer, and then you have to figure that out. Yeah, that's what happens at NAMM and during like festivals and stuff. They're like, play more, because they have to make up for that time to keep the show moving. Luckily that didn't happen, but I will say that we thought we were gonna end on the cover mashup that we did at the end, and it ended up being that we finished a little bit early. We were able to do an extra original song. The other thing that was also interesting was some of the songs that I sang on stage were finished songs, but I ended up changing some of the lyrics and some of the things to the songs when it came time to produce the album shortly after. The main thing about this is NAMM is cool, and I'm glad I did it, and it was a great experience. I'm so grateful for it. But the big thing about it was I learned a lot. It helped me grow. It helped me find my key players, hopefully, after the pandemic. But it paved the way because of the video they took and the experience that I had. We don't really do resumes in the music industry too much, but I will say having that experience under my belt, that credential, paved the way and opened the doors to festivals. I actually booked a couple festivals that got canceled because of the pandemic. It's so interesting how just one thing can lead to the next thing and the next thing. Or sometimes it leads, the next thing is a learning thing. It's still really cool how it's just like each moment is just so important. And that's why those principles I said in the beginning are like crucial to honing, so that way these experiences can really help you and also just help benefit you and everybody else. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for the 10th episode of my music vlog. Please stay tuned for a special upload next week, and we're going to be talking soon about the making of my interlude album for episode 11. So stick around to the end to see the covers, and please vote for which cover you want to see in episode 11 in the comments below. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later.
Thanks for watching. Please consider supporting Sarah Lightman on Patreon.